Today, I want to take a closer look at two AI stocks that are using Nvidia's technologies to evolve their own technologies and their overall solutions. So, I do believe the two stocks that I'm going to mention today are ones that I would consider growth stocks and tend to have more of like a high risk to high reward ratio. One is focused in the biotech market, and the other is one that we've have discussed in this channel before, and it's one that focuses in AI for the automotive market. So in today's episode, I just want to showcase how they are using NVIDIA's technology, a closer look at maybe some financial numbers, and just my overall thoughts on both companies. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so the first company we're going to take a closer look at is Recursion Pharmaceuticals, ticker RXRX. And this is a clinical stage tech bio company leading the space by decoding biology to industrialize drug discovery. One of the great things about it is they're kind of focusing it in a form of machine learning AI. Recursion leverages sophisticated machine learning algorithms to distill from its data set a collection of trillions of surgical relationships across biology and chemistry, unconstrained by human bias. And they do this by actually owning some of the world's most powerful supercomputers, and those supercomputers are powered by Nvidia's H100. So we'll take a closer look at that, but I just wanted to give a quick 101 of Recursion. I do want to say this is a company, in most like most biotech players, they are ones that are in forms of pre-revenue. So that's where it comes with that high risk to high reward. But to some extent, I do believe by using Nvidia's technology to some extent, and actually we're going to see that Nvidia is an investor in Recursion as well. It kind of creates maybe extra probability that is not a guarantee, but the extra probability that Recursion can end up being a nice winner. So right now we can see a Recursion, ticker RXRX, has a market cap of roughly $2.4 billion. As I am recording this episode, the stock did finish the day almost down 10%. And some of you might be wondering, Jose, this is crazy. But if we take a closer look in the past month or so, this is a stock that has run up almost over 51%. So it's a very volatile stock, and that's why I'm kind of talking about it in forms of more. These are companies that are high risk, high reward. But let's kind of take a closer back on how they're using Nvidia's technology. Well, before I answer that, guys, if you are new here, make sure to hit the thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button. Check out my special offer at fool.com/Jose. All that I just mentioned are great ways to help support the channel, and I truly appreciate it. And Nvidia actually has a lot of solutions for the AI market, and I do believe this is also going to be a great episode for Nvidia investors. So Nvidia has Nvidia Clara, and Nvidia Clara is a healthcare specific computing platform expanding its work with the rich ecosystems of partners. They do mention that healthcare customers and partners already consume well over $1 billion in Nvidia GPUs computing each year, directly or indirectly through cloud partners. Now, if we take a closer look, they also have another solution that's kind of moving with AI and accelerating the shift to generative AI. They do have NVIDIA BioNeMo, which is a generative AI platform that provides services to develop, customize, and deploy foundational models for drug discovery. So BioNeMo offers a new class of computational method for drug research and development, enabling scientists to integrate generative AI to reduce experiments and in some cases replace them altogether. And this is what we're seeing a lot in the overall AI market, where back then you need to have you needed strong concrete data. But right now, because you do have the power of generative AI, because you have the power of simulation, you're able to kind of bring a lot of that, create a lot of synthesized data that will be able to help you discover the next new drug or discover some form of new technology. Outside of this, NVIDIA has also boosted the computer-aided drug discovery ecosystem with investments in innovative tech bio companies such as biopharmaceutical company Recursion, which is offering one of its foundation models for BioNeMo users. So we can definitely see that during CES, and this is where I'm reading most of this article from, NVIDIA showcased a lot of things about Recursion, how it's kind of bringing one of its own foundation models to cloud API users of BioNemo, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be more of like some form of revenue service for them. Probably nothing too crazy, but Recursion has a supercomputer with more than 500 NVIDIA H100 Tensor Core GPUs. There are some countries out there that are building supercomputers that do not have the kind of capability that Recursion has with their supercomputer. Now, like I mentioned, like most biotech companies, Recursion is more of a pre-revenue to some extent. The company had a market cap of over $2 billion. I believe we looked at 2.4, but revenue is estimated for current year to be roughly 51 or $52 million, and that's what's estimated for the next fiscal year as well. So we can see Recursion is not growing in revenues, but that's because as they continue to do drug discovery, you kind of have to do those kind of clinical trials, and it takes some time. But overall, you do have the power of the supercomputer, which they can obviously rent out to some extent, and also the ability and the plenty of data set where they could start to license some of their large language models. So there's obviously some other opportunities outside of just your traditional medicine and drug discovery here. Now, if we take a closer look at their overall balance sheet, we can see the company has roughly $387 million in quick cash available to them. No debt, pretty much no debt to their name. Unfortunately, they are burning cash at roughly $73 million per quarter. So, in theory, this is most likely going to be a company like we see with most biotech that is going to have to do some form of offering of getting more cash into them in forms. I don't believe they're going to take debt. It's most likely going to be in offerings and dilution here and there. So something to be mindful. But again, this is more just showcasing the different types of companies that are using Nvidia's technology and have some opportunity in the future. So definitely some interesting. This is one that I do have in my portfolio, but it's something that is way less than 1%. It's something that I believe has the opportunity to grow dramatically, and even a small position can play out well. At the same time, it's something with high risk. Like I mentioned earlier on, high risk and high reward type company. Now, the second company is actually one that's a decent size of my overall portfolio. This is CRNC, I believe. I've always mispronounced it. This is ticker CRNC. And we can see in the past year, the company is down roughly 11%, where most of the market has done pretty strong. The company has unfortunately seen a lot of weakness, like huge shift in management, where this is a company that provides automotive solution software. And in the past few years, we've actually seen a huge slowdown in the automotive market, either being supply constrained, is it being either manufacturing constrained to some extent. So because you've seen lower amount of sales in vehicles, you've also taken quite a hit in forms of Sorrent's revenue. So Sorrent's is one that I've been pretty quiet, in my opinion, for the past year or so. But I do believe that quietness is now over for me, and it's one that I'm going to keep a closer eye out. It's one that I'm going to be investing and have been investing in December because there is that opportunity. And most recently, they did announce some great news with Nvidia. So this is a company with a market cap of 793 million. Again, high risk and high reward to some extent. This is one that normally, if it wasn't me, would be something that would be very small position in my overall portfolio. But sometimes I get a feeling that, hey, it might be okay if I go a lot bigger on this one, and that's where I'm at with Sorrent. Obviously, right now it's proven to be wrong. But when we see things like this during CES, that hey, look, and Sorrent is introducing CALLM, which is an automotive specific large language model that serves as the foundation for the company's next gen in-car computing platform running on NVIDIA Drive. And again, it doesn't mean a guarantee that, look, Cerence is going to do good, but them using one way or integrating one way with NVIDIA's technology is another push that, hey, there's an increase in probability that this company can do well. During CES, Volkswagen actually announced that they were partnering up with Sorrent to bring the powers of ChatGPT to their ID7, and eventually it's going to come to their combustion engines like the GTI, the Passat, the Golf, and all the Jettas and all the other lines that they have. And then they also have about a 20-minute live stream showcasing some of the cool functionalities that you can use large language models with your vehicles, right? Some people might be saying, hey, Jose, we don't want AI in our vehicles. My wife actually said that. But it's interesting. There's obviously consumers that would definitely enjoy this, and there's definitely a market opportunity here. So Soren's in the past few days, has actually announced a lot of interesting news. For example, Great Wall Motors selects Sorens to power in-car experience as automaker expands globally. We also see that Smart Eye and Sorens to showcase emotionally aware in-car assistant, further advancing the AI power immersive companion. So this is Smart Eye is a company that focuses and Sorens. They focus on human machine interaction, and these interactions are not just through voice that we do right now, but also through facial expressions, hand movements, and stuff like that. And these two companies are working to kind of perfect that for the future of vehicles. Like I mentioned on January 8th, Volkswagen will be the first automaker to deploy Cerence Chat Pro, which enables automakers to integrate ChatGPT with unmatched flexibility and customization. And I do believe we're going to start to hear a lot of other companies kind of follow the same suit with Volkswagen and kind of team up with Cerence to bring certain AI solutions to their vehicles. Another one, Cerence collaborates with Microsoft to develop next generation generative AI powered automotive user experience. So, like we saw, Cerence is using ChatGPT's API to some extent right now. Now, obviously, that's powered in Microsoft's clouding solution. So, Cerence and Microsoft have collaborated right now to continue to bring this kind of vehicle user experience to other automaker technologies in forms of their clouding solutions. And I do believe that can also be some nice kind of growth opportunity for the company. Now, if we take a closer look at PE ratios, unfortunately, right now, due to our market, the company is not on a positive PE ratio, but forward, which is the next 12 months, is sitting at 13.69, and forward 1 year is sitting at 16.96. The final thing I do want to say is the company does have about $275 million in total long-term debt, but they do have about half of that in cash and short-term investments. This is also a company that's mainly software-based, so nothing too heavy, in my opinion, in forms of investments from here on out. And we can see free cash flow right now is a bit positive. And I do believe that right now, macroeconomics, unfortunately, with high interest rates, is going to continue to slow down the car market to some extent. We're still going to see some weakness in this company, and that's why there's high risk. But when things start to turn around, macroeconomics, and we get a better kind of buyer's market in vehicles, I do believe this is a company that can win thanks to the auto market turnaround and also the overall AI market solutions that this company is providing. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.